Hello everyone and welcome to a new 3D Artcore tutorial, and this time I want to show you how to create a built-on animation effect. So this is what example is all about. We will create something similar to this just so you will have some kind of idea what are we intending to create and learn. So let's watch it at first. Okay, cool. So basically, this is what this is all about. It's kind of creating some kind of transforming effect, which I'm not sure how to call it. So this is why I name it as built-on animation effect. And basically, it looks like more of like transforming objects, and it can be used as most likely as intros for any videos you would like to create, or just as a nice effect for whatever you prefer to make it. Okay, so let's begin. Let's open Maya. And usually when I'm creating tutorials or working with the Maya, the first thing to do is going over shading here and choose the smooth wireframes. That's just to make all the lines and everything attached to polygons look a little bit much more smoother than than it is. And let's begin. The first thing, I would like to create a polygon pipe, but the thing is that I'm mostly not using the interactive creation tool. So in order to disable this feature, you go over Create, Polygon Primitives, and down here you will find interactive creation. Okay. Now basically, just like the exit on completion, which is signed by V, if I will click on the interactive creation, it will be signed as V also. So you just want to make sure that the V sign is not here just by clicking this. Okay. And then you can use the Polygon tab and choose any one of those shapes in order to bring them into the scene. So let's, for instance, check this polygon pipe. Okay, so here's the polygon pipe. It appears in the default settings for it. Okay, and let's press 5 to get shading mode, and we can go over the attribute editor here just by clicking this icon here and see that it says attribute editor at the headline, and click on the polypipe 1 tab. Now we can reduce the thickness of this to about 70. Okay, so 0.70, like this, 0.070, and hit the enter key. I prefer to use the bigger one, and you will see what I mean later on. Okay, the enter key, the one, the bigger one. Okay, so after we created this, hold down the shift, right click, choose insert edge loop, and we will add one more edge loop here, one more edge loop here, and then one more here close to this. We are actually creating edge loops around each corner edge. Okay, so later on, when we will smooth preview this, this shape will somehow stays smooth, but with more sharp edges. Okay, so this is what I'm doing here, and we finished. Now we can smooth preview it by pressing the 3, but first tap F8 once or twice, to bring it back to object mode and choose the selection tool. Again, F8, okay, and press 3 to see it on smooth preview mode. Okay, so now you see it's almost the same, just smoother, but those edges we added are keeping those edges here sharp. If we didn't do this, so let's create just another polypipe, and if I will press 3, you will see it could look something like this. Okay, and right now we don't want this, so let's delete this, and we want to focus on this object. So now we will scale it to about something like so, and then we will switch to the rotate tool. You can do this by hitting here this icon or pressing the E button on your keyboard. Now when you use Maya, you need to make sure that your native language is not it's not selected. Okay, so for instance, my native language is Hebrew, but I need to make sure that English is my primary use language right now. Okay, when I use Maya. Okay, therefore then you will get direct access to your hotkeys for Maya. Okay, so now I want to rotate this. So I want to rotate this on the y-axis, or I think the x-axis, and hold down the J key, okay, and rotate it. It will snap the rotation into few degrees that are already set to this function, to the snap tool. Okay, and then you will have something like this. Now I want you to duplicate this, but the duplicating will be using Shift D. Okay, not as usual Control D. We're using Shift D, and I will show you in a second what does it mean. You will first switch to the Move tool, Shift D, move the object over here to about so. Okay, and you want to scale it also at the same time, that something that will be, we create some kind of cone. Okay, now after you make sure that also you can use the 4-view in order to see this, you make sure that the object is fitting to the inner circle of this spring. So we can go back to the perspective view and see if there is any other issues, like the side view, front view, sorry, and see if it's close enough to this spring, and then back. Now if I will hit the Shift D again, okay, this is what will happen. It will create another spring with the same parameters values that I've added to the second spring. And if I will hit Shift D again, it will continue do so. Okay, so that way you easily create something that is with the same values that you attach to the second one, and Maya that way learning that you want to create a few additional springs, okay, and with the same parameters. So that's how easily you create this. Okay, now when you use build on animation, you need to make sure that you do want to have some kind of idea of what you are going to make. So for this tutorial we will create something which is pretty simple, but this method is really depends on your patient and how much you want to make much more construct intros or whatever thing you want to add this effect to. So let's continue, and what we will do next, I'll take this spring and I want to make sure that this spring is has no no smooth preview on it. So I'll press 1 to get out from this smooth preview, and now I want to right click on it, choose face, choose this face, shift select this face, shift select this one, this one, this one, this. Now with the basic default setting for this spring from the start, from the beginning, you should have equal space in between them, and it should be fine. But you need to make sure that this is how it was from the start, okay, from the beginning. And basically it should be probably an equal number, I think. Let's just check it by creating another polytype, and it has 20 subdivision axes, okay. So these guys over here has the same value, 20 subdivision axes, okay. So now that way you be sure that you have equal space in between and not making any mistakes, okay. Okay, so I'm grabbing all those faces, go over polygons here in the drop down menu, polygons, choose edit mesh and choose duplicate faces. So now what we have is we duplicated all the faces that we selected around this inner circle spring, okay, and I want to make sure that I'm unselecting the main spring, okay. So hold down the control and choose only part of this spring here. Or maybe press F8 first to bring it back to object mode, and then once or twice, and then unselect it. So you see we have all those inner faces we extracted and or duplicated, and we want to go over mesh and combine them together. Now that way we can go over modify, center pivot for it, and if we will select the move tool, you can see we can bring them all at once outside, and they are all acting like one unit, okay. Now from here I will just bring them here for a while, okay, but we will bring them back. Now I want you to go to the timeline. This is the timeline, and underneath we have the control of how many frames we have the timeline to have. So I want you to type in something like 300, okay, and hit the enter key. So now we will have a timeline of 300 frames, and I want this structure, okay, to appear somewhere in the frame number 20. So first I want to make sure it's here, okay, over here where it was. Yeah, sorry. So let's first bring it back to where it was, and then I will add those 200, 300 frames. And if you feel that those are basically all those springs right now are interrupting you, so you can choose them all, okay, and go over the channel box here once or twice to clicks over it, and while those all springs selected, you can choose this icon here and add them to a separated layer. So that way you can name this layer by give it a name, springs, okay, and choose save and untick the V sign, and then you won't see them. Now let's back to this portion, and we want these faces to appear somewhere in the frame number 30, okay. So at frame number 30 or 20, you know what, 20, it's better, and we want them to appear. So I first choose the frame, okay, I click S, okay, that will record this on the timeline. You can see we have a red mark right now, and now I want the to move this frame to frame number 0, and I want to record this again by pressing S key, but this time I want to change the visibility value here on the channel box. This is the channel box again, and I want to change it to 0, which means off, okay? So 0, and hit the bigger enter, okay? We have the enter key, choose this, hit it, and the object will disappear. Now, right away, you click again, tap S to record this on the frame number 1, and if I will go over the timeline and start to, you see, well, I'm starting to play it manually, you can see that in frame number 20, those faces are appearing. So basically, that way you can control the visibility of an object. And when you want the visibility to appear. Now, from here, we can start animate this object in many different ways. Let's say, for instance, in frame number 30, we want those faces to have some kind of transforming effect. Okay, so what we will do, we will switch to frame number 20, tap on the extrude. Okay, now let's reset the extrude tool first. We will go over extrude, this box here, and edit reset setting, and then we can just from the polygon tab we can click on this extrude. This is the same function. We click once on it and you will see that all the faces become brown with some bluish outliner, and we have this gadget here. So the first thing to do is on frame number 20 to press S and record this action. Okay, so now we record this, and in frame number 30 we will switch to frame number 30. We will pull this extrusion out and at the same time scale it to something like this. Okay, and then we want to press S again to record this also. So if I will rewind this, we will get something like this. It appears in frame number 20 and it starts to transform until frame number 30. Now we want to choose those faces here right now, okay, like this, and we want to record these also with extrusion in frame number 30. So we will extrude this once, and then we will make sure that we first were in frame number 30, and we want to press the S key to record this, and we want this on 40 to extrude that way outside, and press S. Okay, now we will rewind this manually and you will see what we get. Okay, great. So now basically I've done this ASCII on frame number 39, but that's fine. Now on frame number 39 I want to grab those faces here, and like so. Okay, and now I want to extrude once, press the S key to record, and frame number 50 to pull them outside like so, and maybe stretch them with this cube a little bit like so. Okay, and then press S to record this. And actually this is what you basically do. You keep on creating these kind of things. Now let's for instance say we want to extrude this once again. So we are extruding it, pressing the S key on frame number 50, of course. Bring it to frame number 60 or 55, it's okay. And this time we're extruding it inside, but not, you see, that way, but not out yet, okay? And press the S key, and then extrude it once more, okay? Press the S key again, and this time frame number 60, and pull it out like so, just a little bit, and press S. And then extrude again, press the S key, and we want to bring it to 65, and pull this cube to the side like so, and press the S key, and then extrude it once more, and press the S key, and then to 75 or so, and pull it outside and stretch it so it will look something like a big fan, like this. And press S key to record this. Set a key for it, actually. So let's rewind this manually and see what we got. This is where we start from, and it's starting to grow like this, and basically stopped at frame number 75. Now we can keep doing so. We can also create some rotation movement to this fan. And the thing is that right now the fan actually is the fan itself, okay, you see, while it's in object mode, we have only two keyframes. The one that it's appearing, okay, and where it's still invisible. So in 20 it's visible, and it's starting to grow until 75, which I can, if I will right click and choose faces, or no, maybe, okay, leave it. If you remember, we just finished to manipulate this all this built-on kind of effect in frame number 75. So therefore, in frame number 75, I want this to rotate at the same time while it's building on. So you can just jump over to the last frame, which is 300, and start rotate this. Now we will rotate by using the J key, which snaps the rotation to the same axis, and then we can just start rotating it a lot, okay, because this is 300, and don't worry, as long as you keep rotate this, it will calculate the how many times it's made full 360 degrees, okay? So this is how much, and I want to press S to set a key for it on frame number 300, okay? So now if I will rewind and play, you will get to see something like this, okay? It will continue to rotate, depends on how much rotation you gave to it, until frame number 300, okay? And then it's starting all over again. Great. Now, the thing is, which is very important in this step right now, is to keep this file, okay? So you either can create a project folder for it, or save scene, just as you like, give it some build on animation, okay, save as, and I'm encouraging you to do so, okay, it's very important. Now, we also want to add probably more, things to it. So we can choose these faces here, like so, like this ones, and I want in, okay, somewhere in after frame 75 where it's already you can already see those wings. I want this wings to start extrude outside, like so. I will show you. So first press S after you click on, no, first press the extrude, press S to record this, and pull them a little bit outside, like so. But we want to tap on one of, first choose frame, okay, sorry, and we want to pull them outside. Sorry about it, and just forget to jump to other frame, and then tap on one of those cubes here once and release, and then grab the middle one in order to bring them inside, like so, and press S key to record this. After that, I want you to grab all those faces here, and then click extrude, set a key, okay, press S to set a key for it, and pull them outside. First change the frame to frame number 100, pull them outside like so, and press the S key, okay. Now the thing is that just as like faces, you can also manipulate vertices. So after we done this thing, okay, and in frame number 100 it stopped to you know, to changing, to transform. Choose right click on it and choose vertices, and we will grab only those of each wing vertices, okay, only those two. Like so. Sorry, these. And set a key first for it, so S, and then with the move tool you can bring them like so, okay, but first choose a frame, so it will reset itself to back, but choose 110 and pull them outside and press S, okay. So now you can see that way we can also sorry, we can also animate vertices, okay. Now this is what we get, okay. So if I will just reveal the other springs, you can see we have something like this. So this is basically it. We can add more things to it, and it really depends on how much complicated you want this transforming to be. You can create many more things like pipes. We will continue just a bit. I'll show you a few other things you can add. Let's say, for instance, I'm having this cylinder here, okay, and I want to kind of grab those like so. Okay, no, I want them to be very flat, just like so. Now I also want to bring it up here to the same level as this upper spring, okay, and somewhere here, okay. So basically the wings are starting to appear somewhere in frame number 40. They're 30. They are starting to build on from 20, 30. Okay, so let's say at 40 we want them to appear. Okay, though sorry, we want this cylinder to appear at frame number 40. But first we want to duplicate it in 10 pieces, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so we want to duplicate it 10 times. So first of all, we want to choose, adjust this pivot for this cylinder. So after we brought it up over here, tap insert button on your keyboard for Windows users or home to Mac users, and you will get this gadget here. This gadget is actually the manipulate, the pivot gadget, okay? And you can determine where you want the pivot for this cylinder to be. So I want it to be in the center of my grid, and therefore I will choose this side view in order to make sure that the pivot is right on the center, like so. Okay. Tap spacebar, put your mouse cursor over here, spacebar again, and when you're done adjust this, tap on home or insert again, depends on your operating system, and after you've done so, switch to rotation tool, and I want you to grab this spring here, the red one, hold down the J, and no, first Shift D to duplicate it, and then hold down the J and rotate it like so. Okay. I used two snaps to bring it over here, and I know that for sure this is the distance in between each one of those wings. Okay, so just to clear things out, and after I will click Shift D again. Okay, it will create same cylinders around this spring here without worries. Okay, but you really need to make sure that your pivot was set correctly, because otherwise minor changes can make huge difference in this function of shift duplicating. Okay, so really try to be precise in this action because it's very important. Now after you created all those copies, grab them all together, sorry, without these and these, grab only the cylinders. Okay, these, and now we will first go over mesh, combine them to one unit, go over modify, center pivot for them, and let's just grab the move tool to see this. Okay, that's great. So at the same time I want you to grab these wings we created, and I want you to add them to a separated layer. So click this while you selected it, call it wings, fan wings. Okay, choose save, and just for now let's unreveal all of them. Okay, so we have those cylinders right now, and I want them to appear at frame number 40. Okay, so I will immediately choose S, press S to keyframe in frame number 40, and I will go one frame back, okay, to 39, as you see here, and switch the visibility to 0, which means off, hit the enter, okay, and press S. Now I want you to explain why I'm using the big enter key and not the side one near to the numbers. The thing is, when you tap here 1 and hit enter, okay, you see this dialog box stays open. If you hit the bigger enter key, it will close it like this. Okay, that means now you can record. If you keep this open like so, you can't record. Okay, so stay focused on this issue because it can disturb sometimes. Okay, so now at frame number 39 it should be disappear, so let's just make sure it's on frame 39. Yeah, it's frame off, and set it. Oh, sorry, I've done something wrong here. I didn't select the cylinders, sorry. Again, frame number 40, visibility on, press S to record this. Frame number 39 and visibility off, 0, hit the enter and press S immediately to keyframe it. Okay, so 40 they appear, and now we will right click on top of them, choose vertices, and I want you to choose only the upper ones of each of those cylinders. You see, those vertices. So it can be a little bit tricky, but you'll need to find the way how to do this. Okay, so I'm doing this like so, choosing the vertices with shift always, okay, holding the shift and just trying to grab all those upper ones. Okay, like so. This will be a little bit tricky, but I trust you to do so. You can do this just like me, and just a little bit more paying attention to things. Hold down the shift all the time when you're trying to select. Okay. Grab those and grab those. Okay, we have one more cylinder to deal with. Okay, that's it. So now we only need to check that they are all selected, okay, and just the upper one of each cylinder. So now at frame number 30 they are appearing, okay, and we want to record these vertices in this position, okay, or maybe we can use the scale tool and make them flatter just by grabbing the middle cube and flat them to about so. See, that way you can press S to record this. And let's say that in frame number 75, where this fan is fully open, okay, even before, we want the, you know what, even in 60, it's okay, 65. We want those cylinders to be fully opened like so, okay, and yeah, just like so. Press S key to record this, and then this is what we will get. We can reveal those and see this all in action. Okay. See? Simple as that. Now, you can also tap F8 to bring it back to object mode, and if you want, you can add a little bit rotation to it, so just grab it back immediately to frame number 300, and again, we will use the rotate tool with snapping, hold down the J, and just start rotate this axis, like so. And press S to keyframe it. So now we will have something like so. Great, right? Okay, now you may also want to, make sure that in frame number 300, if the fans are like in this position, you can bring them to this position, or maybe this position. Yeah, I have some issue with it. Maybe it's not fitting the same in between, but basically we can you may want to rotate it at the same direction where it was. Okay, so let's first reset it by choosing any other frame, and then frame number 300. You know what, I want it to stay like so. I don't want to make any more changes to it, but we can add more text or something. So create text, and let's use the 3D text, okay, or skill field, okay, skill field, and choose the bevel, okay. Make sure you choose Lucida Grenade font and choose create. So now we have this skill feed text, but we want to fix some issues with it. So attribute editor, bevel plus, and the bevel width we want to change to 0. Okay, so 0 will make sure that the skill feed is okay, and we want to rotate it like so, and rotate it just like so, and scale it first. Before scale it, choose center pivot and then scale it, and bring it over here just like so. Okay, and now just for making things a little bit more nice, let's say I want the skill feed title to be here like so, at the last position. Okay, so it will be here in this position, and this will be the final kind of look. Okay, so it will be here. I will set it to frame number 270, okay, and press S key to record this. Okay, now I can decide when I want this to be appear. So I can make it appear on frame number 110, and basically I will just choose the frame, move this to the back like so, okay. Press the S key to record this movement. So now if I will start manually play it, you can see it comes to the front, but now I want to bring it back to frame number 270, and I want this to come in rotation kind of look. Okay, so I will rotate this again with holding the J, rotate this once, this is 300, another 360, another 360, and just make sure that at the last part it will be straight like this, and press S key immediately. And also let's just rewind this so you will see what we've done. Okay, see, it will look like this. It will come to the front, but we want the scale parameters to be set to something else. So I want the scale parameters to be here, to be in frame 110. I want the skill feed to be something much more tinier, that it will fit the the entering of this cone, so it won't overlapping any other polygons here. So press S to record this, and now you can see it's starting to, but still yet it's not really still not the size. You see in frame number 170, it's already big enough to interact with collide with our springs. So I will jump to frame number 170 and scale it, and make sure I'm keyframing it so it will remain at the same size. Okay, so see, that way we can make sure that no collision is happening until it's moving out. Here you see it still collide a little bit, so we can give it a little bit scaling down and set a key for it and then it can continue to grow over here. Now that's great. Now also the text is appearing in frame 110 and basically we don't want it to appear before this, so we can jump to 109 and and change the visibility. Okay, so the visibility will be 0 off and we will set a key for it and then it will appear only in 110 and come forward like so. Okay, so that's nice, and I think that you already begun to understand what this is all about and what is demanded from you to know about in order to create things like this one. And sorry, I'm a little bit sick, but the thing is, I want you to make sure that you know one more thing about this. Except each one of those recording, you know, for vertices or any other thing we've done here, you can also set keys for color parameters. Now, let's, for instance, say we want this thing to sorry, change colors. Meanwhile, it's rotating, you know. So let's say it start to appear in frame number 20. So until in frame number 20, I want this to get just, let's say, bleen, but okay, let's delete no, don't delete history, because the history is very much important here. Do not you should not delete history, because if you delete history, everything you've done here will be lost. Okay, don't delete history. So we are changing the color to something like yellow. Okay, and from now on these faces are yellow, you see. Now in frame number 20, okay, which here where they are appearing, I want this to be yellow, so I will right click on the color and choose set key. So now they are yellow. Now if in 50 I want them to be kind of orange, I will change the color to orange first, okay, and right click on color, set key, and you can continue this. You won't see any red marks here, but you just need to trust me on this one. Okay, so choose the color blue and then right click, set key on 80, continue to 110, choose a different color like green, and then right click, set key, jump to 130, change the color to something like red, and sorry, set key, I'm always confusing. And now let's just play this so we will see this. Okay, see, it's changing colors. This is pretty much it. So as you can see, you can also have control on colors if you like, and also for each faces you can apply these colors. If you will create another bleen and make a bleen just for those inner parts, you know, you can control them using this bleen and recording this. Also you can at the same time you can control the transparency of an object. Okay, let's say the skill field is appearing, okay, but we want it to be a little bit transparent while it's moving forward. Okay, so we will first choose a blend for it, okay, blend material for it, and it will be some kind of bluish, okay, and let's say the transparent here, you know, in frame, where it's starting to appear somewhere here, so we want, okay, let's say 150. We want this to be much transparent, okay, not much but a little bit. Okay, like so. So you can set a key for it like this, and in frame number 180 or 190 we want the transparent to be, we want the object to reveal, okay, and not be transparent. So set a key for it, and if I will zoom in, you will see this, okay. I just create some render so you will see it, okay. You see it's transparent here, and while I'm forwarding this, it's appearing much more better. And I think that this is pretty much it. You can have a lot of control on using this you know, method, on creating very much beautiful things with it, intros or whatever. I hope that this course will give you you know, just as much as you need in order to create amazing things like this one. I know it's not of a much right now, but just think of how, you know, how much more construct things you can create using this method, and I'm sure this will help you in some way. And that's pretty much it for this tutorial. Hope you enjoy, and keep watching my tutorials. Have fun. See you.